Hello, welcome back to another edition here of the IU Film Room. Tony Adrani here at Coach Adrani on Twitter. Back here with the film room for the Louisiana Tech edition against IU. Was really a tale of two halves for the Indiana Hoosiers. And that's what this film room is going to focus on pretty much. We're going to look at the first half and the positives that we saw on the defensive end, some transition spacing, how well I think Devontae Green is able to read screens and how that really diversifies his offensive game and helps him find good looks. And then we're also going to look at the ugly, and that was the second half, especially on the offensive end. IU has one of the most efficient offenses in the country. The second half, they looked far from that. Coach Miller even said it was out of character for the Hoosiers. So we're actually going to look at every second half turnover and what those looked like, what caused them. You could take it as good news or bad news that a lot of them were enforced. So we'll dive into the first half stuff to begin, and then we'll look at the turnovers from the second half as well. As always, appreciate you watching. First thing I want to look at is some of the good I saw on the defensive end in the first half from the Hoosiers. I really thought their defense kind of helped propel their offense into a quick start against Louisiana Tech. IU was flying around. I mean, they were down in a stance. They were guarding, and these possessions kind of show that. So right here we see Joey Brunk, nice hard head, shows his number just like you want to do. We see Trace Jackson Davis is the tag guy, so he ensures that as Joey Brunk is running back to his man, Joey's guy isn't able to just receive a nice, easy pass down low as Trace's man's over here. So we see Joey recover. So now Trace closes out with high hands on his man, doesn't allow a shot. Now we're going to see a dribble handoff. Trace shows his numbers here. He's about to hedge out hard. It's actually going to result in Louisiana guy seeing Trace hedge out in a travel. Great defensive possession from the Hoosiers. Another one here. IU's guarding well. So right here we're going to see a dribble exchange. Devontae Green just going to stunt here. So in the pack line defense that IU employs, you play in gaps away from the ball. So Devontae Green should be sitting in a gap when his guy passes the ball. Exactly what he's doing here. You should be in the middle between your ball and man. And then you're supposed to do what's called stunt and recover, which means if a guy's dribbling at you, it's not your guy, you stun at him, then you recover to your man. Devontae Green's stunt here actually causes this guy to travel because it's just a not quick little stunt and recover. He's about to recover to his man, travel. Great defensive possession from the Hoosiers. Last defensive possession here. Again, great show from Brunk. You've got Aljamain Durham, that is now the tag guy, so he's staying tight here to this guy. This guy's not open, so Al's tagging till Joey Brunk can get back. Joey's back. Joey communicates to Al, I'm good. So now Al can close out back to his man. And then what I really like here is this is kind of a faux screen here. Demezy Anderson's going to kind of run off, or his guy's going to kind of run off this post player. Joey Brunk has the wherewithal to kind of do a late switch, two hands straight up. I mean, that's not really anything you can teach. Just a late switch, two hands straight up, hard contest at the rim. IU gets the rebound. Really good defense, especially from the start. As we can see, 7:51 left in the first half. Hoosiers are up by 21. While their offense was clicking on all cylinders, their defense was doing really well too, which helped them build that 23-point lead early in the first half, which unfortunately they weren't able to hold. But great defense to start for the Hoosiers, and I really think it helped propel the energy in Assembly Hall and helped propel the energy for the Hoosiers. Something I was really impressed with from Devontae Green last night was his ability to come off of screens, off the ball, and read his defender. So in this first clip, we'll see his defender wants to trail him here. So that's an automatic trigger. If your defender is trailing, that you want to curl this screen. Devontae Green does exactly that. He curls it, tons of space, wide open 15-footer. He nails it. So just a few minutes later now, we look back. Devontae Green's going to come off this screen from Race Thompson. His man's going to try to go over the top of this screen. Devontae Green does a great job of reading where his man goes on the screen and ends up flaring it. So Devontae Green very easily could have just kept coming up this way. This guy shoots the gap. He gets a steal. Devontae Green sees this guy go on the high side of Race Thompson, takes a jab step, flares it, wide open three-point shot, knocks down a three. Again, Devontae Green. His guy tries to go underneath this screen, so what does Devontae do? He just steps right back out, reads the screen. Now, this guy has got a hard closeout because Devontae Green just knocked down a three. So what does this guy do? He closes out hard on the hard closeout. That means Devontae Green just puts it on the deck, got his man beat, 2 points. So Devontae Green didn't have the best game in the world last night, especially in the second half. Who did for the Hoosiers? But his ability to read screens off the ball is really going to help pay dividends for IU, especially on the offensive end. I really, really was impressed last night with how Devontae Green was reading screens. I actually put this out on Twitter last night, but I love IU's zone offense. In years past, under different regimes, the zone offense has been really stagnant. IU keeps good motion against the zone. They screen the zone, and they look middle. They've got two bigs that really stretch the floor. They overload the zone. You see right here, Joey Brunk flashes high. He's got two hands high. Guys are looking for him. Nice little lob over the top to Trace. 2 easy points against the zone. Louisiana Tech goes back zone. Again, you see IU overload the side. They've got 4 guys on a side. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got one shooter to keep the defense honest on the weak side. They reverse it. What do? They keep it overloaded. Now you've got a guy flashing high. Now this guy's in no man's land. He should be covering Devontae Green, but because the ball's moved from side to side, they've made the zone shift. They've overloaded. You've got Trace Jackson that's going to be coming underneath. This guy's worried about that. What they end up doing is they leave Devontae Green wide open, and he was hot. He knocks down a 3. Louisiana Tech, I think, went zone one other time, and IU got a good pass into Joey Brunk that he mishandled. But every time a team's tried to go zone against IU this year, IU's made them pay, which has been really, really good to see. The second half, Louisiana Tech didn't go zone at all, and my guess is it's because it wasn't very effective against the Hoosiers. In the past film rooms, I've dove a lot into the sets that IU's run. And last night they ran some of the same sets, but really, honestly, a lot of their actions came off just their transition stuff, their motion offense, which was really good to see. This particular set I really like, and I think Jerome Hunter actually ran it wrong a little bit, but still got 2 free throws off of it. But basically what this is this becomes a full-on clear out. So as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on this side of the floor. IU's run this play for Justin Smith a couple different times. Basically what they're trying to do is set a screen on this guy and get Jerome Hunter to catch the ball going downhill so that it's one dribble and he's to the rim with this whole entire side of the floor unoccupied, so there's no help side to take that away. Well, here I think Jerome Hunter actually gets too deep. The pass isn't there yet, so he's no longer going downhill. This screen's a nice screen. The pass should have been caught right here, and as he's on the run, we kind of had to stop. Well, that stop now allows the defense to recover a little bit. Again, Jerome Hunter's gifted offensively. It becomes a foul, and it's 2 shots. But that's an action I really like from IU because it's extremely hard to guard, especially when you've got an entire side cleared out. So not a ton to dive into from an X's and O's stats or set standpoint last night, but that was one that I really liked, and it resulted in 2 free throws for the Hoosiers. And we've got one last positive clip from the first half before we kind of dive into the mess that was the second half for Indiana. And this is just the beauty of IU's transition offense. First of all, you see guys blocking out on the defensive end. Every offense starts with good defense. So now the Hoosiers are off and running. You see Race Thompson's got the rebound. You see Devontae Green looking for a deep outlet. You see other guys taking off to the races and running their lanes. But here's what I want you to notice. Look how well spaced the Hoosiers are on the floor. You've got a rim runner. You've got a guy running deep corner. You've got another guy that's kind of spotting up top of the key. And then you've got, obviously, the ball handler that could go deep corner this way. He's kind of trying to see the floor and see where open spaces are at. But right here, you see Armand Franklin goes deep corner, so that takes a guy with him. You've got a rim runner that's below almost the entire level of defense, so that's very important. You want to get to the rim first from a transition defense standpoint. So now what this does is this brings 2 guys with Deron Davis. This guy is trying to stop ball because stopping ball is important in transition defense. And ultimately, Louisiana Tech is scrambling. So what does that do? Demezy Anderson finds space. Look at this. Devontae Green does a great job of finding him, but there is not a guy within 10 to 15 feet of Demezius Anderson. He had just knocked down 2 free throws as well, so he was feeling a little bit. I mean, that's just easy offense. Transition for IU was very, very good last night. It's been very, very good all season. And it all comes down to their spacing and running lanes. Was very impressed with it last night. And now, unfortunately, it's time to look at the turnovers of the second half. Like I mentioned at the top of this, we're going to look at every turnover IU had from this second half against Louisiana Tech. And like I said, you can look at these two different ways. You could say, I mean, the majority of these are unforced. It wasn't like Louisiana Tech was just putting this crazy pressure on the Hoosiers. So you could say that's a good thing. Okay, they're unforced, so they should be easy to clean up. Or you could say it's a bad thing. It's like, okay, these aren't even forced turnovers. The defense isn't even, crazy pressure or anything like that, and they're turning it over. To me, I think it's more of a good sign because, as Archie Miller said yesterday, it was out of character for the Hoosiers to be that sloppy with the ball. They haven't shown me anything outside of this half of basketball that they're going to be extremely sloppy. They've got a pretty low turnover rate and lower than last year. So without further ado, let's kind of look at these here. So first possession of the second half, just too late on the post feed. Guy makes a nice play. Second turnover, second possession. Al Durham's looking to feed the post. He should be hitting him right here. Joey Brunk's got his guy on his backside. Give him the ball. So what does Joey Brunk do? Okay, I'm not getting the ball. 1,000, 2,000. I'm going to go screen. So he doesn't get the ball. He goes to screen. Then Al Durham throws it. It's too late. Another possession just soon after. Just a lazy pass. Too long of a pass. But I want you to see something, and this is actually probably Trace Jackson's biggest flaw. Not a great screener yet. All right, he's got to be able to knock this guy off his line a little bit to get Al Durham open. Kind of whiffs on him. Guy gets skinny. He's able to make a steal. Right here, Justin Smith. I mean, 1, 2, 3 guys. Joey Brunk does a nice job diving to pull a guy with him. Now Trace Jackson could relocate here and probably have a diagonal pass to the elbow. There's different things. Justin Smith's got to be patient here, but he just sees kind of tunnel vision of Brunk diving. Was never going to get there. Stolen. Right here, Armand Franklin catches off a curl, immediately puts it on the deck. Curl, dribble, loses it. Out of bounds off the Hoosiers, Louisiana Tech ball. Again, we've already dissected 4 or 5 turnovers. It was not even to the first media timeout yet. Now we look at Al Durham. Drives. Leaves his feet to pass. All right, that's a big no-no. Unless maybe you're throwing that baseline whip out of bounds pass, which I'm not a huge fan of, but leaves his feet to pass. Kind of gets caught in no man's land. Tries to find Brunk. Probably should have been a bounce pass. Guys get their hand on it. Compounds it. Louisiana Tech scores 2. Again, we're 5 minutes into the second half so far. This pass just didn't have a chance. I'm not sure what Armand Franklin was thinking here. Trace, yes, he has his man on his backside, but he's on the whole other side of the goal. That is way too long of a pass to even think about getting there. Guy just jumps in front of it, intercepts it, turnover. Right here, Trace Jackson. This is a baseline out of bounds play where IU is clearing out this entire side for Trace Jackson to rip left to his strong hand. If he doesn't have anything, he can kick the green. But Trace actually spins back towards all the defense. Doesn't really have a chance there. Turns it over. Right here, Devontae Green. Kind of the similar play as Al Durham earlier. So he's got 2 guys on him right here. This is a tough spot. All right. Right here, Jerome Hunter's got to be able to find a window to get open now because Devontae Green's in some trouble. Well, Devontae Green tries a wraparound pass. Nothing going there. Turnover. Right here's Devontae Green's mistake. He was hot. He did another nice job of reading the screen. He's wide open. Take the shot. Instead, he tries to make a dribble move, tries to go around his back in traffic. Doesn't really have a chance. Turnover. And then for good measure, Devontae Green dribbles to the corner against the press. I mean, this is no man's land. This is not where you want to go. Again, guys got to find a window to try to get themselves open. And then he kind of makes an elementary mistake and puts the ball over his head. Pretty easy steal for Louisiana Tech. So, again, like I said, the turnovers, if IU was doing that half after half after half, I'd be more concerned. Hopefully it was just an anomaly for them. I know that's Archie Miller, regardless, was none too pleased about it. Looking at some Twitter reaction, fans were none too pleased about it either. But at the end of the day, IU played a team that's going to compete for their conference championship, a team that's a potential NCAA tournament team, and IU had complete control of the game. Had as much as a 23-point lead, had a double-digit lead almost the entire game. So there's more to be encouraged about than discouraged about. Yes, the second half turnovers were a little, not great by any means, but I'm not too concerned about those yet. So I appreciate you diving into another film room with me. As always, appreciate the feedback. Appreciate you guys let me know things you're looking for, things you want to know, things like that. I'm always happy to dive into something somebody recommends. So as always, appreciate you. Until next time, this is Tony Adranya. Thanks a lot.